Alright, so I talked a lot last time about the race in general, but I really didn't talk about the hot topic, the Brawl. And I wanted to talk about the Brawl, to be perfectly honest. The Brawl is what made the race worth it. It was a pretty boring race, then all the cautions started happening, then there was a Brawl. It was worth it. Phoenix is going to be interesting. Now, the thing is that the penalties were announced, and I'm sure it's going to be Friday by the time this is up. You've already heard of them. If you haven't, some of Kasey Kahne and Jeff Gordon's crew members were suspended, but they were very impartial crew members. There was one rear tire changer, and that's about as important as it gets. And that was on Kahne's team. So, yeah. I didn't even see Kahne's team in the mix when I saw the Brawl. I didn't even see Kahne's team, but anyway. It looked to be a lot of Jeff Gordon's. Oh wait, no. There were so many people in there, there had to have been Kahne members. Never mind. The problem is that none of the drivers themselves were penalized. I mean, the crew chiefs were fined and put on probation, not suspended. Yeah, that's gonna hurt them a lot. Man, wow. Oh. Whew. Don't know how we're gonna get back from that one. Whew. It's not like Jimmy Johnson won the Daytona 500 with an interim crew chief or anything. And none of them was suspended anyway, so oh man, how are they gonna rebound from that? Anyway. And this brings up some interesting things to, think about. I mean, you remember earlier this year, or was that last year? It was at some point when Casey Mears and Marcos Ambrose got into an altercation. I mean, there was maybe one punch thrown in that, if there were any at all. And one of them was fine. Probably Casey Mears, because I like him more. So I'm guessing Casey Mears got fined there. And that was a fight, but none of the drivers were fine this time. This was like a frickin' brawl. That was a sissy tap. But this was a fucking brawl, and none of the drivers got fined in that one. Because Gordon was in there throwing punches. He was throwing punches in there. Kevin Harvick gave him a shove. I mean, that shove probably hurt Keselowski more than Mears' punch hurt Ambrose. I'll bet you that much. And I don't know if this is NASCAR's way of turning everyone against Keselowski. I don't know why they would want that. I mean, these winning races in the Nationwide Series still. You'd think that maybe they'd try and hurt that whole campaign of pain if they really want Keselowski to get some, whatever they want them to get. But, jeez. I'm glad that there's a lot of people sticking up for Keselowski, because I didn't the first time because he didn't own up to what he did. This time, he admitted that it was his fault. Now, what he did really isn't that, bad. If you look, every single camera angle shows it. Every single camera angle shows it. Gordon went down. Keselowski saw a hole. He went through it for it. Gordon went down. It was Gordon's fault. Everything. Keselowski was going for a win. He's not locked in. He was going for a win. He wanted a championship. He went for it. Gordon went down on him. It was Gordon's fault. Case closed. So I don't blame Keselowski for trying to brush off Gordon. I mean, he knew it wasn't his fault. And remember what I said in the actual race review. Pay close attention to the penalties, because this time a Hendrick driver was involved. Harvick got no fines whatsoever, like he wasn't even there at all. Gordon may as well have just been tapped. He's just been, hey, Gordon. Not even that. Like, this doesn't even sting. I don't even think Gordon feels this. If they wanted to penalize Gordon, they would have penalized Gordon. But they didn't, as you can plainly see. And I have a bad feeling that Keselowski's going to get taken out on Sunday. And it sucks because, Charlotte was his fault. But he didn't own up to it, and that was what made me mad at him then. And now I'm starting to get off of the Keselowski hate train because this is bullshit. This is not Keselowski's fault at all in the slightest. I mean, it was an aggressive move. But it's the end of the race. He wanted to win. Isn't this what people want to see? Is entertaining racing? Jimmy Gordon could just pace the field for the rest of the race. That would have been really entertaining. Keselowski made it interesting, just like he made it interesting back in the whatchamacallit race, Chicagoland, I believe, when he threaded the needle between someone and Larson. That was entertaining. That was the exact same move that he pulled at Texas, except at Texas it was on the restart, and since it involved Gordon screwing himself over, everyone's mad about it. You know what I mean? So, if there's any way Keselowski is getting into this final race at Homestead, it's gonna be sheer luck. I mean, everyone else is gonna have to wreck, basically. He's gonna have, because there's a whole lot of drivers gunning for him now. And it sucks, too. Everyone's comparing Keselowski to Dale Earnhardt. And since I don't like Dale Earnhardt, I don't feel so bad doing it. Here, let me say this like this. And since I don't like Dale Earnhardt, I feel no remorse saying that. Keselowski keep driving like he does, and he gonna get dumped, and no one's gonna blame the driver for doing it. I mean, if Dale Earnhardt, that guy, was driving, I heard someone else say this, but if Senior was driving in races these days and doing what he used to do, he'd be getting fines up the ass and getting wrecked, and no one would blame them for wrecking him. What happened to Boys Have At It? Oh. This is what they wanted when they said Boys Have At It. Exciting racing, meaningful racing. Stuff was actually happening. And honestly, with the lack of penalties, this could very well keep going as a result. And I like that. Just so long as no one gets hurt in the process. I think a little bit of amped up racing like this, hopefully carrying over to the next season, would be just about what this sport needs. It's still losing viewership, it's still losing ratings, but after that fight, let's see how the ratings are at Phoenix, because I'm going to watch it. Actually, I can't watch it because I work. Good thing I don't have internet, so now I feel free to DVR it. Yay for something here. Yay for something, anyway. If I could, I would. I'd go wherever you would go. Way up high or down low, I'd go wherever you would go. Man, if you don't put the groove into most songs, they just sound like complete utter crap. Anyway, wow, this is going on for a lot longer than I thought it would. Let's see, what else happened in that altercation? See, it's exactly what I meant. I mean, Gordon, almost undoubtedly, for me, is going to be going on to the Final Four as a result of what happened. Almost no doubt. I'm guessing if people don't get themselves into trouble at Phoenix, they should be okay. But Gordon for sure is going on because of this bullshit. I got a good feeling for Newman for some reason because he's been keeping his distance from all this, surprisingly. So I got a good feeling for Newman moving on. If we're lucky, Kenseth will keep his cool and hopefully he wins this championship without winning any races, and the last spot may be up for grabs between Keselowski and Logano at this point. As long as Keselowski doesn't fuck up and does this, just drives a perfect race, he will get it. And if anything happens, Keselowski, Logano gets it. That's just what I'm gonna throw out there. I'm just throwing up stuff at this point. Anything could happen, Phoenix, honestly. It's gonna be a wild race, hopefully. I said that Richmond would be good, it sucked. I said that Talladega would be good, it wasn't a good ending, but at least it was Talladega, so it was at least entertaining to watch the 3 hours of it. Yeah. I think that's about it for this video. I don't want to drain your brains with more random talking here. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, Brad Keselowski, for driving, and thank you, Kevin Harvick, for instigating that brawl. And if Keselowski takes out Gordon, there will be penalties, and if Gordon takes out Keselowski, there will be no penalties. That's my humble prediction. Bye-bye.